Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome to yet another episode on Little Slaw YouTube channel. In this series of videos, we are seeing about the various variables, and so far we have covered counter, list, file, random integer, and random string. If you have not watched it, please do check the description for the link, and you can also subscribe to our Little Slaw YouTube channel, like, comment your questions and feedbacks in the comment section, and share the video with your friends. So with no further ado, we will go to this video where we are going to see about a constant string. So let's see what is a constant string and what is the difference between the constant string and the other variables. So let's start looking, or let's start checking about what is a constant string and how does it work. It looks very simple. So let's start with the name. So we will give it as prefix. So far we have seen various variables which changes in each of its iterations or in each of its use, but this constant string, as it names clearly tells that this is constant and it will not change in any of its iterations. But still, let's see how does it work. So we have added prefix and we will add as Mr. or Mrs. So for now let's add Mr. as the prefix, and we will add this here in the script as the prefix. So we are adding the prefix. In the request, and let's do an iteration. So far we have 3 iterations, and let's run the script and see how does this constant string work. So every variable that we have here has its own set of uses or features. We can't use different variables for the same requirement, so every variable has its own set of requirements. But we can even even have a question that why should I change, or why should I even create a constant string, or why don't I enter it manually in the script? So there is one limitation, because if we create a constant string here, we can change it in a single click instead of going inside the script and changing it differently for each and every occurrence. But instead, if we have declared it here in the variable, if we want to change it to Mrs., or if we want to change it to Miss, or if we want to change it to doctor, or whatever the constant string value it has to be, we can evenly and easily make this change. So that is the reason of creating a variable here with a value in here, and then we can easily update it. So for one script, it's possible for us to do it. But what if you have different, at least around 10 scripts with 10 flows of 10 transactions? So in that case, it's very difficult for us to go inside each and every step of the transaction and make this change, which is even a constant string. So that is the reason we create this constant string, give it a proper name, and have the value defined here. So every time when we want to make a change, we can easily change the value here. Say for example, even if it is a policy number, or even if it is a product ID, or even if it is a bank account number, or whatever it is. So any value which we want, we can make the change in with just a simple click. So this actually saves us a lot of time, and also this will help us to have the test with high quality and with good number of time. So let's see the test we have started, we have executed. So here we can see the name has come. So the Mr. value Mr. has come 3 times. So that is the use of this constant string we have in here. So let's now see the difference between this constant string and the other values. So constant string, as we already told, it's constant. It will never change in any matter whatever you change until we change the value directly here in the value variable. Apart from that, these random integer, we all know they change it randomly every time in each of its occurrence, and they totally deal with the integer, and it has a maximum value of this quantity since it's an integer, and we have a string which can handle 1000 as their length. But let's see what is the constant string's length. Let's enter so I think even this also will handle up to 1000 strings since it's a totally a string. So let's anyways check it out. It still goes on and goes on. Let's find what's the maximum. Let's copy paste it. We even copy pasted it, but still it goes on and goes on. I think it can handle more number of values, I believe, the constant string. So still it goes on. Yep, still it goes on and on and on. So it looks like it can handle any number of any length of string. It's not like what we have in the random string. It looks like it can handle more number of string, which is more than 1000. And there is one more thing which we can check it out here. But then we can try with more number of strings. But then there is a chance of getting a NeoLoad getting stuck. But there is one more thing which we can try, which is we can add the numbers in it. So even though it is a string, we can add both integers and string, and let's see how that it works, whether it fails or not. But still, if it is allowed to enter in here, we can actually use it. That is, this constant string will accept both the string and the integer as part of its variable or it's part of its parameter. So even though it is mentioned as string, we can enter both the integers and the characters in it here. So this is one more feature that it has, and even we can totally or completely give this as numbers and try. So this is the feature of the constant string. So we can have it only, even we can try with capital letters, which is not an option in the random string. So in random string, everything comes as a small characters, which we have already saw, and the random integer will not accept any characters. But here we can try with all capital letters or with all small letters. We can even try with numbers, and even we can enter any special characters, numbers, characters. So this constant string will accept any string that comes in, but the only thing is it won't change with the entire execution. There is not even an option of changing it in another iteration or changing it another use. So everywhere this value will be the same for the total execution, and that is the only limitation. But that is again that's the purpose of using this constant string in our test execution. So with that, we come to an end. So these are the features of the constant string and the limitations and the advantages of having the constant string, using it in our testing. So with that, we come to an end. So until we meet in another interesting video, this is Vasant and Little Slaw YouTube channel. Until we meet, it's bye-bye from Vasant Shanmugam and Little Slaw.